Welcome to this episode of The Good, The Bad and The Odd One Out with your host Mark. This one I'd like to talk about Machete and the sequel, Machete Kills.
Machete.
Now, Machete started life as a fake trailer in... Well, no, actually it started life before that, but one of its main driving forces was... it was a fake trailer in the Grindhouse films done by Tarantino and Rodriguez, which was Planet Terror, which I really like, Planet Terror, and which was done by Rodriguez, and Death Proof by Tarantino, which I didn't like so much. I much prefer Planet Terror. It's a much more fun film. It actually probably started off way back in Spy Kids, actually, where Danny Trejo's their Uncle Machete, or his equipment's called Machete. It is kind of a similar character, though he's a much friendlier person in Spy Kids. And it's more like Q from James Bond than the Machete we're used to, who doesn't tweet or text and prefers knives to guns. I really like Machete. Let's listen to the trailer and then get into it.
They called him Machete.
$70 a day for yard work. 100 for roofing.
Get in.
125 for septic.
Have you ever killed anyone before? As you know, illegal Americans are being forced out of our country at an alarming rate. For the good of both our people, the senator must die.
He was given an offer he couldn't refuse.
And make no mistake, we are at war. Every time an illegal dances across our border, it is an act of aggression against this sovereign state, an overt act of terrorism.
Set up, double-crossed, and left for dead.
You think what you do is right? Taking your brothers and sisters in? Deporting them back to their own personal hells? It's a law. There are many laws.
You want me to help you kill all these men?
Yes, bro.
I'll see what I can do. He's coming after us.
He knows the score. He gets the women.
There's nothing I'd like more than to see that Mexican dance the bolero at the end of a rope.
And he kills the bad guys.
We didn't cross the border! The border crossed us!
Well, this cucaracha has got AK-47s and he's laying waste everything that gets in his fucking path.
But they soon realized they just fucked with the wrong Mexican. Machete.
I really like Machete. It's a good, fun, check your brain out kind of film. It kind of it's kind of in Commando School of Action, you know, slightly fantastic. In fact, quite fantastic actually. There's a couple of bits in there was just ridiculous, but I kind of liked it. I liked how Rodriguez was riffing on the Mexican viewpoint. You know, there was little jokes in there like, you know, what Machete gets in by walking up to a house with garden equipment, they just let him in because he's a Mexican with garden equipment, and then they say to each other, have you noticed how people just let a Mexican into their house as long as they're carrying garden equipment? But there's some nice touches. There's a fair bit of wit in it as well, and the deaths are fairly grim. When he turns up with some equipment that's just unbelievable. He turns up with a machete at one point that's bigger than a sword. He's enormous. And I kind of liked it. I liked some of the cameos. Robert De Niro, Don Johnson. That was kind of cool. I've been watching a few Miami Vices lately, and it's kind of cool to see Don Johnson in something. I actually thought Steven Seagal was a really good presence in this. He plays this sort of whispering bad guy, and he had a lot more charisma than he usually has. I don't know why. It just kind of worked for me. It was funny. Lots of naked women, and Rodriguez really went out of his way to fit the story into what was in the fake trailer, so it all was coherent, which made it quite a twisty, turny story, but it was all right. I quite like Jeff Fahey in this too. I thought he was pretty cool, and there was basically lots of death at mayhem. Mostly naked women or women in sort of skimpy outfits, and it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was made in 2011. This is my third or fourth watch, and each time I watch it, it's more fun, and it's easier. Each time I watch it, it's easy to ignore the flaws and just enjoy it for what it is. Know what to expect. There's some great set pieces. Particular standouts for me was when he actually swung out of a window holding onto a guy's intestines, and also when he does a bike jump after fitting a chain gun to the front, conveniently fitting perfectly onto the front of a motorbike. He does a massive jump out of an explosion while chain gunning a load of bad guys. It's kind of fun. I'd give it 8 out of 10. That's how much I liked it. Did I say 2011? 2010 this was made. And then the sequel, at the end of that, it says Machete will return in Machete Kills and Machete Kills again. Now, Machete Kills, made in 2013. This got a lot of bad press. Really, it was a lot of people down there. Even people like Machete didn't like this. I waited quite a while before getting to see it. And my view was, if you come to expecting anything serious or approaching serious, then you haven't got the right attitude. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm trying to avoid using the word ridiculous, but that is kind of perfectly sums up what's going on. It's fun. It's hyper violent. This is a guy movie. I watched a recent documentary about Milius, and Sam Elliott summed up John Milius by saying he doesn't write for women, he doesn't write for pussies, he writes for men. And this is kind of a film for men. This is the direct opposite of a chick flick, really. There's deliberately ridiculous macho dialogue, lots of decapitations, and Charlie Sheen was awesome as the president, and it was very enjoyable. And it even started off with a trailer for the next film, which was Machete Kills, again in space, which I'll play at the end of this. Actually, having said that, let's listen to the Machete Kills trailer.
Sure ain't the governor.
It's the president.
Of course, Mr. President.
This Machete. Trained to kill. Left for dead. Back for more.
Taco time.
Danny Trejo, Michelle Rodriguez, Sofia Vergara, Amber Heard, Lady Gaga, Antonio Banderas, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jessica Alba, with Demian Bashir and Mel Gibson as Foz, and introducing Carlos Estevez.
I'm the president of the United States, man. Go kick some ass.
Machete Kills.
Hopefully that gives a feel of what's going on in here. It's kind of lacking if you don't see the visuals. The visuals are really important to this. There's all sorts of character. I mean, Lady Gaga turns up, Cuba Gooding Jr., even Antonio Banderas turns up, and it's kind of fun and silly and ridiculous. The plot is there's a plot, but the chain of circumstances that sort of drive the plot are frankly quite ridiculous. It relies on coincidence and convenience and just people turning up at the right time, stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. This is Machete Kills. You know what I mean? You just have to accept it for what it is. If you're in a mood to watch something goofy, this is a good choice. The pair of them are a good choice. I have no doubt at all I will watch Machete again and again. And I'm probably going to buy Machete Kills at some point. And I do hope Machete Kills Again in Space does get pulled off. Oh, I didn't mention Mel Gibson was in this too. Yeah, and I thought he did a pretty good turn. He was kind of a lot of fun. Machete taking on these clone super soldiers was kind of fun too. And he's got him dispatching them in various creative ways. That was kind of cool. Overall, rather fun. I liked it enough to say 7 out of 10. I think I'm way above the sort of scores you'd find on IMDb with this, but I like these two films. They were kind of fun. Okay, let's play out with a bit of the trailer for Machete Kills Again in Space, which I hope gets made at some point. Bye.
I'm President Rathcock, and I approve this message.